Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Saturday, July 3rd, 2021. My name is Rich, and joining me once again this week is Bijan. How you making out?
I'm good, and I am here to tell you or remind you once again that the Summer Olympics will be happening on July 23rd on NBC.
Do you know what? Really, I had no idea. Like, I wish that they would advertise that so we would know that the Olympics are coming to NBC.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a travesty that they are not, cramming it down our throats every second that they can on this show that, the Olympics are coming back.
Yeah, episode 4, the qualifiers for ANW13, may have brought it up, and they may have brought it up in episode 1, 2, and 3 as well a few times.
Yeah,
you got to bring past Olympians in. You got to bring the, have them on the course or have them on the screen, even if they don't know the competitors. Like, just cram them in at every possible second.
I don't know, man. I was fine with it. Like 2 episodes in, I was like, whatever. They do your promotion, but it's getting a little grating at this point, just a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. But let's get into it. Let's talk the course. Let's talk the ninjas.
Bro, this course, I got a lot to say of how, let's just say boring the vignettes were this episode, but this course was legit. In my opinion, this is probably the hardest course they've had this whole season, and I really think it's very creative and great.
Yeah, we had they swapped out the second obstacle this time. We had double down. It's like the double dipper in this weird way. It's like crank it up mixed with the double dipper.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's incredibly creative. It's visually there. Like, we always talk about the visual element. Man, this got everything involved with it. And it's really fun looking too. Like, I want to try that obstacle. You got to do the crank it up, which is a physical endeavor. But then, dude, you get this I don't know, almost like roller coaster thing, swinging, and you have to swing across. It's got all of the really fun elements involved with the ninja obstacle. You look at that, and you can't get that anywhere else. I'm not gonna find that on a Tough Mudder or Spartan race. You're not gonna find that on the Titan games. I'm not gonna find that anywhere else. It's exclusively that thing screams Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, it's also probably the hardest second obstacle I've ever seen.
Yeah. Dude, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, it's that's a pretty crazy hard obstacle, man.
Yeah, I think that might have played into some of the later ones. I mean, we didn't see a lot of falls on it, but it had to wear them out, and they had a tough course ahead of them after that. The 2 of the hardest balance obstacles, block run and log runner, leading into air surfer and pretzel twist, which are, challenging. Very challenging.
We've definitely seen this season that the pretzel twist is really difficult. And the wave runner, I mean, that's not an easy obstacle either in terms of just really draining out a lot of muscle groups. So this is a tough course, bro. But hey, we actually got finishers. It didn't, stop them. It seems like, this type of course really skews towards the veterans. It's either that or the veterans were just really good this episode. I don't know, but yeah, I really enjoyed the element when it comes to the course itself.
All right. So let's talk about some of the ninjas here. The women tonight. Let's talk about them because just some of the new names, I guess, that came out. Yeah, like the Addie Harmon. Oh, can I get them all here? Yeah, I don't have all their names. I'm going to have to get them here in a second.
Yeah,
but
it's all good. But I must say, it really says something where I forgot. It was the penultimate obstacle that Megan Martin had to go to. And even then, she had to complete it just to make it into the top 5. That's how strong the women were this episode. That basically, Megan Martin had to get to the final obstacle, the warped wall, just to make it and qualify in the top 5 of the women.
Yeah, all 5. 5 women in the top 30. That's really good. And it's twice this season they've had that happen. So We could get to the point, if this keeps up, we can get rid of the women's rule, which I know has kind of had a mixed reception.
I still like the women's rule. Like, haters are going to hate. I think it's a nice, like, safety net. It's not needed, of course. I appreciate when the women just qualify in the top 30. But I don't want to go to a finals where there's, like, just a mild, like, microcosm of representation when it comes to women.
Yeah, I just think it'll be great. Because I know they can get there. It's just a matter of getting more female ninjas in the sport.
Yeah, and
they're just
I
outnumbered at this point.
Yeah, and I would have different thoughts if they like handicapped like the finals or something, but they're not. It's just the qualifiers, so I couldn't care less. Like let there be representation when it comes to the finals. That's how I feel. Hate me if you want to. Haters gonna hate.
So yeah, I actually want to get these names right here. So I'm skimming through. We had Addie Herman, who was a rookie. We had Abby Clark, who is not a rookie. Season vet. She was great. Casey Rothschild, also returning. It was great to see her back and doing well.
Man, I love Casey. She's so good.
Rachel DeGuts.
Who's that?
She was one of the ones that ran. I think she was one of the ones that skimming through.
If she wasn't, I apologize. I don't remember her, but yeah. Oh, I remember. Okay, there was one woman that, like, okay, I get it. You get excited. Even I on the show said like, "Let's go." There was one woman in blue that must have said "Let's go" 20 million times. I believe that was the exact count that she was featured not only on her run but like two other people's runs, and literally the only thing she could say the entire episode was "Let's go." It kept on happening, and I was like, usually I don't want, she's excited, whatever, but it was almost like. After she said it so many times, I couldn't not hear that everybody was saying that. Now, once again, I said it myself. I'm not going to.
A couple times I've wanted to bring it up. I'm glad you mentioned it, and I didn't because you said it. But 100%, it's all season. It wasn't just this episode. It's been happening every one. It's like, did you become a catchphrase, or were you just ahead of the curve? Because I'm hearing it everywhere.
When I said it on season 10, it wasn't as widely said, right? Like, people still said it. I'm not going to be like, oh, I created it. No. But it was not used to this frequency to where it's almost at the point where we might need to, have I forget the term, but when you need to sit someone down and be like, all right, let's stop this, okay? It's getting like the floss or whatever else. It's like, all right, we need to do something else. Like, if I was on the show, no chance in heck that I would ever say "let's go" at this point, because it's too overdone. But that said, hey, they're excited. I'm not gonna grade on anybody's parade. They might not have known, but like next season, I hope some of these ninjas are like, all right, I need to do something else.
We're gonna start having to keep count as we go here. So let's skim through some of the returning people, or anyone that you want to call out.
Well, it wouldn't be the first guy, because once again, the first guy, talking about racing his cars and his family and everything. Man, the stories on this episode were some boring stories, man. They got nothing going on. Like, I don't know if it was just like the bottom of the heap when it comes to, like, new people, but the people they're introducing, the first 3 episodes were good. This episode screams some filler, like, newbies. And I hate saying that. I'm sure they're great people in real life, but it really did nothing for me, at least, when it came to, like, being introduced to new people. Ooh, this guy's got his name. His name's called Stretch, and he's acting like he's driving on the course. Cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in a bad mood. I don't know, bro. But
yeah, I don't know. As I talked before we started recording, like, I didn't get much sleep last night. I was nodding off through this episode. I'm going to be honest. It was, the stories were bad, and/or we're just not in the mood this week. I don't know what it is, but they didn't draw me in, like, very much.
By the way, Taylor Johnson, that's the lady that says, if you count, like, there's got to be a count for how many times she says, like, "Let's go" on this episode. It's got to be approximately 20 million times. That said, this girl named Addie Herman, First of all, like, how is this girl 15? She looks all of 10. Like, but that said, like, I don't know. I was actually really rooting for her. Maybe it's like the adult in me, you know, but I'm like, oh my God, she's adorable. Oh, I hope she does well. Like, just something about her actually screamed really like a genuine, like, good kid that just like is gonna try her best. I don't know. This was the one vignette that really did it for me, and I think it might literally just be the fact that she's such like a young kid that's smiling. I'm a simpleton. What can I say, man? Like, I'm like, oh, do your best. You're gonna do great, Addie.
Yeah, she was great. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm crapping all over the competitors, and we are not going to go run by run. Because they were fine. They, some great runs, a good course. Just it wasn't as drawn in. The first one I know that drew me in and made me pay attention was Jay Lachey, who we remember from ANW Junior.
Bro, Jay Lachey. Oh, I'm so glad you brought up Jay. I was excited to see him.
Yeah, he was so good. I love seeing these kids that did so well in ANW Junior absolutely steal the show, right? Like coming in and doing just as well on the big course and getting cheered on in a lot of cases by their coaches on the sidelines. Like, yeah, I don't want to see some Olympians on the course or on the screen. I want to see, their coaches and, people they've competed against on these bigger local competitions, cheering them on, knowing that they can do it and being able to see them prove it to everyone else.
Yeah, 100%. And, I don't know. I was fine with I forget her name, but the Olympic, or not the football player guy that's married to the Olympian. I was actually fine with him just because he seemed actually like caring about the sport, but the Olympic like elements are getting a little too much. I guess at this point I'm getting, how do I describe this? My patience is running thin.
The one that got me the most wasn't even Olympian. It was the MMA fighter this episode.
Oh, we'll get to that. Cause,
I skipped right over. I think she was on...
Yeah,
it's a little... We already went past her.
It's a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Jay Lachey, once again, how are these kids... old enough to be out there? Like, if there's ever a definition that there are teenagers on this show... Look at this kid's face. If you didn't see his bio and you just saw a face, you'd be like, oh, that's like a 7-year-old. That's an 8-year-old, right? Like, I am like, what? That said, really excited to see Jay Lachey. And this is the cool aspects of the sport and why I throw this at anybody complaining about their teenagers on the show. Because these teenagers are actually doing well. They're excelling on the show, which means they deserve to be here. Because the one cool thing about A&W, which is always drawn in everyone, is that it is inclusive. It's not separated or divided by gender when it comes to the finals. And now the age awareness or gap is also separating. There could be people with special needs running on the show. There can be Olympians running on the show. There can be like a 6-year-old running on the show. And now there can be 15-year-olds running on the show. And at the end of the day, they're still running the same exact course. And that's awesome, bro. I love it. And I totally understand why you can't go much younger. Because, you look at that mega wall and I'm like, I don't need to see an 8-year-old try to run up that. Or more specifically, I don't want to see an 8-year-old fall from that. I also don't want to see a 65-year-old fall from that, just saying. But, I really enjoy the fact that we're getting, all these age ranges.
Yeah, I think you summed that up well, right? So their skill proves that they should be there. For those that did complain, like, it should be a non-issue at this point. You might complain about whether they're featured or not compared to veterans. I get some of that's gone on. But they are proving that they deserve to be there. Like Jay Lewis, also known as Jay Lachey, almost took down the mega wall. Like, there's a couple of them this episode that almost did it again, right? So for these teenagers to be able to not just hold their own but excel is pretty amazing.
Yeah, 100%.
Who else do we want to talk about? Let's talk about the Amish pair.
The Amish pair, they were cool. I honestly didn't need their their vignette, because they actually had an interesting story, but it really didn't go anywhere. They didn't go anywhere with it. That makes sense. I guess it could have been shorter, but that's a better way of wording it.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. That's what it was. I was like, I was really into it, and then I wasn't, and I think that's it. It just kind of dragged on after a while.
Yeah, like, hey, interesting story, don't get me wrong, but I mean, they didn't have the personality to stay on the screen that long, and nothing against them. Like, if you're shy or whatever, especially literally growing up not having electronics, like I totally understand if they feel a little uncomfortable with cameras in their face or anything. But the producers at this point really need to know, like, hey, let's not drag this on. Let's get moving, and this is one of the cases where it was fine. I was rooting for them, though. I was like, wow, that's an interesting background. It's unique.
Yeah. Paul Fisher ended up going out on Pretzel Twist, and Ivan King out on Air Surfer. Sorry about my dog. If you can hear him.
Good. All right, so this is one of the... this is a situation where I have to ask if I am the jerk, and I will admit I'm the jerk if I am. I don't know, man. But the gnarly Ninja Nate segment, needed or not, because it just screamed he's a person with a disability. Totally understandable. I really enjoy the fact that he's representing, and we are able to learn his story. But it screamed the whole thing that we get every single season, it seems, where it's like, hey, I was on the show, and now I zoomed and met a kid that, looks up to me. That's cool. Did we need a full segment for it? I'm the jerk. I will totally admit if I am. I don't know, man.
I wouldn't say you're a jerk. It didn't draw me in as much as last time. It was good to be reminded. He's fairly memorable. I don't know if I really needed another segment for him, but I wasn't against it. I didn't find it dragged on, that I recall anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, this is cool, but the story just went nowhere. And I was like, oh, okay, it's another situation where, I mean, we just came from a pandemic, so I really shouldn't be that hard. It's not like he's going to be, meeting up with a kid, hugging him, like a training or anything.
That's a great point,
but,
actually.
but I don't know. I was just like, really? Another one where, this kid, like, zooms. Like, if I was on the show and a kid looked up at me and be like, oh my God, I want to be a librarian. Cool. Do I need that to be my main story? I don't know. I don't know. That said, I'm very happy for Nate. He made it the whole way again, and that's really cool for him to represent. So, pluses and minuses. I feel like that's the story of this episode, man.
Yeah, a couple pluses right after, right? Adam Rail. I mean, Nate Hansen completed the course, let's be fair. And he's a very good, talented ninja. Yeah. Actually, I'm very glad to see him back. I think his build is so unique, and I love the prospect of him just absolutely crushing this course in certain obstacles, just because of that advantage of having like the smaller trunk and the longer limbs. I think it's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But after him, we had Adam Rail and Sean Bryant. Both. I
mean, talk about the top of the sport. I wonder, like, I'm sure, like, Reddit and any of the message boards are, like, losing their minds that they got fast-forwarded. I'm not too worried about it because, like, let's be real, they're going to be featured later on this season.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair to say. We had a couple of veterans featured this episode to kind of make up for it. I'm not too shocked that they didn't feature all of them.
Yeah, that said, we saw once again that they're amazing. They both hit the fastest time. And, the qualifying episodes usually are the episodes where we're introduced to a bunch of people where it's like, all right, whatever. And speaking of which, what is her name? The Olympian. Like, I feel terrible because she's the Olympian.
Shawn Johnson?
Shawn Johnson, thank you. I'm like, we all know her, but I obviously don't remember her name. But Shawn Johnson's husband, there is a story where, he's on the show. Didn't think for a second that he was going to make it far, but he actually got a lot further than I thought. So good on him for that.
Yeah, Andrew East ended up making it all the way to the Air Surfer. So good on him.
Yeah, and he genuinely seemed like he cared about A&W. It wasn't a situation where he's just like, oh, I'll be on the show, whatever. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid. But he seems like he genuinely cares about A&W and really wanted to be on it. And that's all I care about, honestly. Somebody, like, living their dream. And he seemed really excited and happy. I'm happy for him. Sean was like, all right, cool. You got your fill? All right, get ready, buddy, because you're about to be a dad. So... I got very much mom vibes from her being like, buddy, don't hurt yourself because you about to be on daddy duty soon.
That's funny. We only briefly touched on Abby Clark, but we had a mention about her run here. So her pup is a ninja. Her dog Ace, a border collie with agility training. What you think of that segment?
That's all I got to say. Where's my bell? Shame. I just, no.
She did go on a pretzel twist. Abby's an amazing ninja. So glad to see her still out there doing well and moving on.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. She's a 15-year-old. I mean, like, what else are we gonna get? Like, oh, I'm doing in high school. What I'm doing in high school or stuff. Like, don't get me wrong with that. Like, I get it, but it's like so. I don't care.
Abby was on before they dropped the age limit. I think she's...
Oh, wait, I'm mixing up Abby Clark with... Oh, my God, never mind. I was thinking about the other Abby at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, right.
I forgot there was another Abby halfway through the episode with the... Okay, sorry. Yeah, this one, yeah, okay, then you full on get the shame belt, Abby. All right, Abby Clark, shame. Because, yeah, you're a full on dog, you get shamed. I'm sorry, but this was, I remember watching this and I was like, this woman better make it all the way. Because, like, why, this segment kept going. I don't care about a border collie doing some tricks. I don't care. I don't know what else to say, man. I think she did go far, right? She better.
Yeah, she moves on. She made it to pretzel twist, great run. But Rue Yori has the dog thing locked down. Let's stick with him.
Yeah, and Rory also had like an interesting story with the dogs. It wasn't like, hey, I got a dog that does tricks. Like he had a genuinely interesting story of saving a lot of these dogs and like loving, like building community, like just everything about Rory. I don't want to reiterate. Is he even on this show this season? I don't even know.
I haven't seen his name.
Yeah,
maybe next episode. Maybe we got one left.
But that said, Abby, all good for you. Once again, I usually hate on the producers more than the athletes when it comes to their stories.
Right. We had Bryant Kretsch and David Campbell as well.
Oh, geez, man. See, like going into the season, everybody's talking about how the veterans are all getting like sidelined and everything like that. Dude, we got the OGs back. Like we got Kretsch, we got Campbell. We had what was it, Brett?
Brett Sims?
Brett Sims, yeah. So, like, we got the OGs. I know there's more, but, like, that's it. I'm not complaining. I'm seeing the peeps that I want to see.
Yeah, Brian made it out, ended up going out on pretzel twist, and David Campbell actually completed the course. Didn't manage to get the mega wall, but otherwise did it really well once again.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm going to take whatever I can get. I'm not going to complain about them being fast-forwarded. We got to see them running. That's all I can, hope for at this point.
Scrolling down. Not going to cover everybody.
No, but first off, there was a kid that, like, got, like, a day, like, set after him, Troutdale Day, for, like... What did he do? Did I miss something? How did he get awarded this?
I don't know. It's Kaden Madzelin. And, yeah, he did great. He even touched the lip of the big mega wall, but didn't quite...
Yeah, that's all good and said, but, like, his vignette lasted longer than his run, it seems. It was forever. Like, just kept going on. But more so, I'm just... How did he get awarded this? This is the first we've seen of him, right? Or was he on ANW Junior? Like, what am I missing here?
I don't know. I will be honest. I nodded off during his segment, literally at his segment. I did see him finish the course and I did see his mega wall attempt, but the segment lost me. It totally lost me.
Yeah, I don't know, man. No hate, like, good on this kid, but yeah, like looking back, that's all I remembered. I was like, did they just say they awarded him like his own holiday? Who is this kid? Why? What? It might just be a very small community, and they're happy to see him on TV. I don't know.
I'm not sure I've heard of Troutdale outside of this, so it's possible it's just a small community thing.
Yeah, but bro, we gotta talk about Quinwin, the dude with that. What was it? First off, the amazing first-person drone shot. Right. Quick question: how quickly would you throw up going first-person drone running, like doing that shot?
It's pretty cool. I like it. I've got a drone, and it's fun to do for sure.
Have you done it first person?
Not with the headset, no.
Oh man, I have VR, right? I love VR, and I love the thought of like moving fast and everything. But there are aspects of VR where, like, if you're tilting and shaking and stuff like that, your equilibrium goes haywire, and you can get nauseous real quick. And I was like, this dude's like doing spins and like flying, like gliding really quickly through drone shots, like as a drone. I am like, this dude must have a stomach of like just pure gold or something, because like really strong stomach is all I'm trying to say, because man, I would get nauseous doing that, and I don't get nauseous from many things. That said, it looks so fun, bro. Like, it looks so fun doing a drone first person. Yeah, I'm off my tangent, but all I'm really trying to say is, hey, Quinn, if you ever want to hook me up, hit me up in the DMs, I guess. I'll pay. I'll give you $200 for it. That's I'm cheap. That's how much I'm willing to go.
He made it through the semis. We could see him again. He made it all the way to Pretzel Twist.
And I'm looking forward to it, because this guy has something that's unique to ANW. He's super, super fun to watch run the course. He actually like did a bunch of like I'm trying to remember what he did, but like he took a lot of chances. He did not go like a typical ninja. He was like in the crank it up part, he didn't even crank it. He just like, muscled it through. And like there are other elements where he was just like, screw it, I'm going. Like I don't know. I really enjoyed watching him run.
I think it was him that he cranked it up and he like skipped down the whole thing, like almost like fell from the top.
Yeah, I loved watching him, dude. He was fun.
I mean, his fall was one of the most epic I've seen, for sure.
Yeah.
Huge peel off into the wall. He's the one that they showed, I think, in the previews, where he, like, spun back on the back swing and, like, slammed into the pads.
Yeah, I love it. Imagine him on, like, the finals course with, like, super high. Like, this kid's gonna run the course so fun, and then he is gonna go out in a blaze of glory, and I'm gonna love every aspect of it.
All right, so now we move on to Ethan Swanson, who I was like a breath of fresh air for me in this episode.
Yeah.
He was amazing. I know you're not a huge fan of the Swan thing.
Nope. But you know
I
what?
liked it.
They didn't go to like people doing it throughout the whole run, so it really wasn't grating to me. It's dumb in my opinion, but it isn't something where I'm like hating on it, because like before, every time they'd show him for like 1 second and then pan to the whole crowd, flapping their wings, or somebody on the sidelines flapping their wings. This time they really like put the camera on him and actually was showing him, and then the people on the sidelines are clapping and cheering, like actually taking him seriously. I like that.
Yeah. He has this thing, I don't know if I can describe it well, just a little pose that he does where he like stands at attention kind of and looks to the side. And I never really paid that much attention to it. Never really, I don't know, it didn't draw me in. But having seen Sean Bryan mock it in the skills competition, it now stands out to me. It makes me laugh every time he does it.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah. If I were to think back, like, this might have the strongest collection of veteran ninjas moving on, and which sounds good, right? This episode in terms of that, but if you think about it, there's going to be a really big, I forget the term, but bottleneck, I guess, when it comes to the qualifying finals, when we're going to see probably a lot, or the regional finals, I should say. We're probably going to see a lot of our favorite ninjas go out during those regional finals from this area, from this like group. because only so many can move on to the finals.
Yeah, potentially could see it.
Dude, Adam Rail, Sean Bryan, like Ethan Swanson, like we've got a lot, and that's just like a few of them.
Yeah, well, let's take a look. Who do we have? So who made it through? Well, we should finish the runs here first.
Yeah.
Who should we talk?
I mean,
so he
Alyssa
completed.
Beard,
He did great. He had the second fastest time. Yeah, Alyssa Beard.
She did phenomenal, and she's still not making it, like, moving on. That's crazy.
Yeah, for her to make it to the fifth obstacle and not move on is a little nuts.
Yeah. And it really sucks, honestly, because like Alyssa Beard is amazing, and I really want to see what she can do. It's one of those things. I think last year also she didn't make it. Was it last year where she fell also in the regionals?
I think you're thinking of the women's competition. She fell early.
Oh, maybe it was that. But yeah, I want to see at least a lot of the women that can like do amazing in the Vegas finals. I really want to see them compete. And obviously they have to earn it. No problem there or anything. But I'm just saying, like, it really sucks not being able to see Alyssa Beard this year go on that Vegas course.
Yeah. But you know who we will get to see? Or
Heck
at
yeah,
least
bro.
Moving on is Megan Martin, our women's champion.
Yes, looking amazing as always. Like, dude, she's looking stronger than she has in previous years. Like, she's getting better still.
Yeah, and it's funny that, she did amazing through the whole course, took it all down. The first woman this season to actually beat and hit a buzzer. What's funny is, I've said it a few times. I kind of feel bad when I say it, like she's not taking the sport seriously. But I keep saying I don't think it's her primary thing, and I feel like she gets by on her amazing talent. She's just so athletic and so good that she doesn't have to make it her focus necessarily. And she says it essentially on the at the top of the warped wall is she thought she wasn't going to do well because she had to come right from work and stuff. Like,
yeah,
she is just that good.
And you know what? I appreciate that. I mean, it's almost getting to the point where, I talked about how inclusive ANW is, but when you really think about it, if you really want to get far in this sport, I mean, it seems like most of the people that move on are the people that dedicate their entire lives to ANW, or they're ninja gym owners, or they're people that go to the gym to work out on the regular. And I'm not saying, Megan Martin doesn't do train AEW on a regular time schedule, but it is refreshing here seeing like the top women's ninja in the world not solely dedicate her life exclusively to AEW and actually have things outside of the sport as well. I mean, I think that speaks to her as a person and an athlete even more of just how amazing she is. That she doesn't just have to only solely rely on AEW.
Good for her. Very, very excited to see her moving on. Excited to see, a woman hit the buzzer this season. I hope we'll get more next episode.
She's not the first one to hit the buzzer, right? For first woman. Like, there are other women.
No, this season she is the first.
That's insane.
Yeah.
There were so many strong women that, I just assumed. Man. I
thought they had too. They said it on the show, and it's up on ANW Nation too, as we're kind of skimming through here. But I think the reason it feels like there was because we had that women's championship to kick everything off. So I've seen a bunch of women hit a buzzer in the last month or so. But not for this season.
Wow. But to be fair, a lot of the top women ninjas are still to come. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of women ninjas that, competed in episodes 1 through 3. But was it Jessie? Yeah, Jessie Flex Lebrec hasn't competed yet. I think she's next episode. Has Jessie Graff run? Or is she not competing this season?
She's not competing this season.
Gotcha. Okay, well, at least Flex Lebrec is coming back. I mean, she's number 2, I guess, quote unquote. I don't know. I kind of compare. Like, I feel like there is just a certain tier where everyone, is like shared number 1, and Flex Lebrec is definitely up there.
Yeah, exactly. So that leaves really one run left to talk about: the amazing Jake Murray.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. Like, his run was really fast and flawless. I have nothing to really to say about his run.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot. That's the thing we've seen before with Daniel Gill too, right? Just flies through the course, and you're like, yeah, he beat the course. He did it exactly how you're supposed to do it. Didn't have any problems. Got a great time. Had the fastest run of the night. There's not a whole lot else to say about it. He was as engaging as ever. Not like crazy antics over the top, taking the course or anything. Just funny and goofy and mugging for the crowd, and just generally looking like he's having a good time. That's
yeah,
exactly
and honestly,
what we want to see.
I liked it because it seemed like it showed, I think, a more authentic version of the charisma that he has. He's goofy, he's fun, but it didn't seem forced. And I'm not saying previously he was forced, but it was more of like, hey, all right, here's the shit that I'm doing this year, you know. Where this time it seemed more like, hey, I'm taking this seriously, but also I'm having fun, and I'm brimming with charisma, and I can at least show it. You know, and I really like that. And a lot of these guys are also. That said, I totally forgot to say, Megan Martin, you get the athletically profound run of the night. I mean, it wasn't even close, to be honest with you. Her run was amazing. And she also showed a lot of grit and determination, in particular when it came to the pretzels. I really like that aspect where I was on my, pins and needles, so to speak. And that was rare on this episode. But I really, really cared and was, eagerly watching every moment of her run.
Perfect. Well, that was it. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything else we want to cover?
Not really. I mean, even though they're only switching up two obstacles per episode, I really, really enjoyed the I almost said new obstacles, but I particularly that crank it up thingy majigger second obstacle that they have. I really like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm guessing we'll see it again next week, right? We only had one episode with that. I'm guessing the last one will have that, and maybe they'll switch out Air Surfer again, or we'll see.
Air Surfer is due for a switch up. Also, I really enjoyed their decision point. Is that what they call it, or something like that? But I really enjoyed they had a little storyline between the I can't remember any of these names. The Cane
Log Run and Block Run.
Yeah, log run and block run. I really found that interesting because, I mean, I don't know about you, but I would instantly go to the blocks.
Me too.
It's
why
probably,
are they running?
I don't know. It's probably scarier because the block run, you're offset. I've seen it in person, and it is very difficult. It takes out a lot of people. But like the log run, no way I'm doing that log run. No, thank you. Absolutely not.
I think we're both traumatized from that season that they flash back to, because that's the thing is like when I picture log run, I picture the season where it like took so many people out.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised that so many people chose that route, but maybe there's something we don't know. Maybe like they aren't as loose the spinner rotators or whatever. Maybe it's not as loose as we know. Maybe they're a little bit more tighter. Heck if I know. But still, I'd still go with the cubes. To be honest with you, no, thank you.
All right. Well, that is it. Thank you all so much for listening. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach me as rich@ninjapodcast.com. I am at Ninja Podcast on both Instagram and Twitter. And Bijan, how can they reach you?
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at Bijan151. That is Bijan 151.
All right. Thank you all so much for listening, and have a wonderful week.
Peace, love, and deuces, y'all. And if you guys didn't know, the Olympics are coming in July. It is July. Late July. I don't know. Whatever. Deuces.